honor him.
Set a date.
Will you get a copy of it?
Yes.
Chris,
What?
when would the date be?
I would like January 29th at 10 o'clock.
We'll get written notice.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve the annexation report for DD 11, set the public hearing for January 29th, 10 a.m.
I'll second it. Motion by Terry, second by Bill to set the public hearing date for annexation for ED 11, 29th at 10 o'clock. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We will go back to drainage matters.
Well, let's do Jim.
Go ahead, Jim.
Then we'll go back.
Jim?
I apologize for the hat, okay?
Oh, I don't hold it against it. As long as they're not playing the Cubs, I hope they win too.
All right.
The last time they played, that was the number one. So,
So anyway, the January 29th, 10 o'clock, that's for the district we're talking about. And I've talked to Scott a little bit the last couple of days on the sizing. There's two issues, and I've talked to Terry a couple times too on cleaning that. Let's start with that. The ditch from the bridge west. Where are we standing on that, or what are we?
Well, that's part of this. Once
Part of the
it's
public hearing.
annexed, then it's going to have a project to clean it out.
Okay. And the engineers haven't gone forward with any plans on that yet, or they?
Have you talked to him at all?
I did, yeah, but it didn't sound like he's real specific
All
yet.
he's got is the flyover. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
So I guess after talking to you the other day, I know you have concerns that everything's going to dump on your land there because it's not going to be a big enough channel.
Well, channel plus those culverts underneath that road that we'll talk about in a second, but yeah. I talked to the AFCS office. The two things, I got a filter strip along that whole ditch, and I've been in a contract for several years, and they said if you just clean the ditch out, put the spoils on, reseed it, you don't have to tear into the contract at all. If you widen it at all, do that, somebody's got to buy that contract out. It's about $20,000 gig to buy that out. To me,
I think those concerns, we can't widen it unless it's
an improvement.
yeah.
That's what I was asking for him. Does he think it needs to be improved?
So there's spots that have silted in. I mean, around curves, it's widened out. There's spots that there's islands out there, things like that. I don't know if there's
He
any.
identified islands as having to go because
Banks have fallen in and silted in and all this stuff. But the engineer will get like the elevations of the roads, I'm sure, or the bottoms, so we get the proper amount of fall and drainage and all that. But my concern is that if we don't widen it at all, that's the problem. Especially what you see by the road there, that first little bit there's some islands and silted in, but you get back up and around in there. You've been back up in there?
not off property.
The ditch is pretty much gone. Trees are down, and it comes down from that a mile west, comes through the first farm, second farm, and then gets on mine and down the flats there, and the river's so narrow and full, it just spreads out. So I don't know if there's any base, I don't know what that ditch was. It's a national waterway.
Right.
But,
So what do you think the average width of the bottom is?
well, I remember when I was a kid, I used to fish down there. Yeah. And so the water was probably, had to be a couple feet deep and 10 feet wide, 12 feet wide, I'm guessing. And if we could get back to that, I don't think we'd have any problem there. So somehow there's got to be some coordination with the ASCS, with Knudsen up there. I talked to him.
What year are you in here?
Pardon?
What year of your?
Well, there's 3 different contracts on that, and he gave me there's one of them that's the smallest one that, I don't think we have to worry about, but, we're several years into it.
How
Probably.
wide is it now?
How wide?
Yeah, you said you thought it was about 12 back then, what?
Oh, there's places it's probably 3 feet, 4 feet. And
I'm assuming, Hopper, looked at the original.
There isn't an original.
Oh, there isn't?
Because it's a new
Oh, okay.
district park.
Right.
But, typically we design, or in the old days, they designed things, about 6 foot wide bottom,
I'm not sure.
depending on depth, whatever. But it seems like a lot of the clean out plans we've had were 6 foot bottoms, and tapers from there.
yeah, I mean, there's places that, like in the straight shots where never have been trees or anything, you can probably tell approximately where it was. I'm sure there's some tile that have dumped into that have probably grown over and covered up. I don't know, but if it was 6, 7, 8 feet in the bottom on average, I think that would be suffice. And I think the SCS would probably go along with that, and then it just have to be banked and reseeded. There's a
Once it's banked up a little more, then that'll help it keep within its
Right.
banks too.
Yeah. It also helps keep water out in my land without getting to the, so.
Do you happen to have any pictures of it 20 years ago?
Without the trees?
Pardon?
Without the trees?
No, I don't.
'Cause I think we could
Are
argue.
there any aerial photos from back then?
We do have aerial photos. I always go to the GIS site for ISU Ortho, and you can see historical photos every 10 years or so.
Well, okay, so I think that would be a doable thing if but you're planning going all the way through Wayne's and Vance's all the way up. And you guys up into your part too, right?
Yeah, Branstead.
Cleaning that all the way down.
At my fence in Branstead, then it turns to drainage district.
Right.
West side of mine is like you, natural.
So that's one thing, and there's some forms that has to go to the county committee in order for approval, and then if they approve it, it's got to go to the state for approval before we even clean it out, which I can do that paperwork.
Just for a repair clean out?
Yeah, which it sounds like a formality there. That's
So we'll probably have to have some engineering done to justify what we're gonna do.
sure. Okay. So I think that's the ditch part. Now the culverts, I was down there this morning. I was trying to measure loan, and I'm questioning myself now whether I got it measured right. But Scott got shop drawings on the 3 culverts, and they're called 12 by 10, and his drawings show inside dimension. I just quick put a tape on her before I came down here, and I had 12 foot outside, and those walls are 10-inch thick, and there's 3 of them, so you've got 20, you got 60, you got basically 5 foot. If my measurements are right, you got 5 foot of width missing if it's 12 foot outside instead of inside. Also, the average depth from the creek bottom to the inside is, well, the center one, the south one is 6.5 feet from the bottom. It's silted in, so that's 6.5 feet. And the center one is 7.5, and the north one is 8.5. So if you had a 7.5 average height, and we are missing that 10 inches, 5 foot basically. We're down to the math I did on it was like 220 square foot of opening there, and the original bridge I think you had was 221, approximately 221 square foot of opening. So to me, it doesn't look to me like there was any improvement done to that. So we're going to dump more water or faster if we open up that creek and we add bigger tile, and so it's going to come at those culverts a lot faster. It concerns me, very concerning. So the first thing I do, and I didn't even meet you up there, but we want to verify what, the square footage we got. I know the height of it is, those culverts are 10 foot high, but they're like buried in the ground 3 foot. So you can't count that. So I want to make sure before we go through all the rest of this other that we open all these ditches up, it's going to come at me. And then the other thing is we build these dikes up. Most of my ground is just surface drain to that ditch. Well, we got to build these dikes up.
You have to have surface drain.
Yeah, where's my water going to go?
And that's typically what you do when you create a drainage ditch. There's certain areas you have to have.
Yeah. So we got to look at that too. But when I bought the ground, it was what it was, and I knew what it was. I bought it as is, where it is. But if there's other changes made, we got to. I don't want to be the one dumped on down, or none of us do. But
I know part of the annexation would be to establish an easement, and I don't know if the establishment of the easement would include, there's certain monies involved in that, the value of the land that you're annexing.
Yeah.
Or not so much making an easement.
I know part of that, one of those contracts was $300 and some bucks an acre. And I think it was this filter strip part of it. But so anyway, that's pretty much all I have. I'm going to go back and double check the size of those culverts, and I hope I'm wrong. I have been before, but we'll make sure what we got there. But I know the height is 30% off from the records. The numbers you had were 10 by 12, 120 square foot per tile, and the 3 is 360 square foot, but we don't have 250, I'd say at the most, of open area. So,
Chris,
anyway,
that contract with Jacobson Westergaard, I think, didn't we have in there in the contract, he's supposed to do the engineering for the clean out of the tree? Yeah, so he's supposed to be doing that, he just didn't get to it this month. So,
Well, we had to do it, we had to get the annexation and everything else. There's no sense in him doing all that if we weren't going to do this.
do that, yeah.
So,
And the other thing, I'm sure he will, but for cleaning out, there's no sense in doing it if we can't have some banks that we get in there and maintain it, keep those trees out of the chop it or mow it or spray it or something. But, so.
and when we establish this in, B&W Spring comes and they are on a 3-year rotation. So they spray every 3 years.
Okay.
So that's how we keep that down.
Okay.
So it's just the initial
We
getting
don't
them out.
want trees.
No,
love trees.
they were left.
Well, that's not with drain.
So that's just summing up we gotta make the ditch wide enough and that, the berms or banks, I gotta make sure my ground drains and the size of the tile, that's basically the 3 things I'm concerned about.
So, I'd like the definition of this annexation. If this land is annexed in, do you accept all the terms of the drainage district? So, I think the way it is now, we have to accept the natural flow of water. You can't stop it, correct?
That's no matter where.
But you can't put an improvement on the bottom ground.
Without going through the process.
Right. But if we're not annexed into the drainage district, then we don't accept the rules of the drainage district, correct?
So right now you're on your own.
Right. But they can't make the improvements because I think code says the higher land can't dump the water on the bottom land. They can't make an improvement at the top and dump it. Natural flow you can't stop. You got to take the surface water. An improvement or a change or speed it up is against the code.
That needs to be checked, because that,
You read the code.
I heard about a deal with Helgeson over in Worth County where they did that, and they
There are laws against the guys on the top improving.
No, I heard that they did that, they did improve upstream, and they can't, that's what Dave Helgeson told me. So, on his property.
So I think that's part of the code is you,
Okay.
improvement
That would need to be checked.
you can't kick the can down the road. You know, and that ground up there is wet, they bought it wet. Jim acknowledged, we all did that, but you were, when you bought it, you had the water you were dealing with at the time.
And that's whether you're, well, in your case, you get rid of it. In my case, I got it coming and I can't get rid of it. So,
Well, it's just gonna dam up and move back.
Yeah.
Is what's gonna happen. It's just gonna keep coming back.
I've been on that land forever, and I do remember going over the road south of that bridge there. This year, maybe it was a little bit more rain, you know, and it depends on how much we get, how fast we get it. I understand all that, but,
Did it ever back up at the culverts?
being by where the bridge was,
3 culverts, yeah.
well, it had to be full because it was going over the road for a short time.
Oh.
And it has gone over that road a few times that I can remember, a few times, but,
Since the, culverts went in?
yeah, this year it did.
Benson had to move his tractor out of your driveway.
Yeah, his tractor was sitting in 3 foot of water. So,
And that's how far south of the culvert,
yeah.
quite a ways.
And I don't know, it's probably a coincidence, but this year, I couldn't charge Benson for 18 acres of crop ground, and first time he never got it planted. This year, right the first year after that culvert went in, and Dave Peterson, I gave him 6 acres, that's 24 acres of ground I coughed up this year. The first year after that culvert went in. You know, is it because we got more rain, or is it because the culvert's not doing its thing? So, but I don't want to do that again. So, we got to get that figured out.
Oh, the one thing we didn't change with that project is the height of the road as it goes further south.
Right.
And so I don't think that the farm ground that drowned it out is any subject due to the culverts.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how fast. I wasn't here, so I didn't see the rain. I didn't even see the water.
Usually it's a matter of how high the river is, as to whether how far it backs up.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've seen that water go over that road, I don't know, I'm gonna say half a dozen times in my life.
Yeah, I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times in just the few years I've been here.
Yeah. So,
It's common.
you know, part of it's, and then south of on the east side of that bridge too, on Branson's property, you know, it's gotta go from there to the river too, and there's just not much fall. You know, we're dealing with that too.
I wonder if this includes solving that problem, you know, cleaning that up.
I would definitely, yeah,
I think we talked from the river to the drainage.
yes, yeah. I mean, you gotta get rid of it all the way down to the river.
And then we talked about, well, we need to clean out the river all the way to the Mississippi.
I like that. Do it, no, I'll just a mile or two, that's fine. But, so, yeah. Anyway, that's what I had. I'm gonna go back and I'll get somebody to help me lean over and measure those tile.
Now, don't hurt yourself.
No, I'm not going in the water.
I mean, it's slippery out there.
Yeah. So, that's all I got. We just keep in touch. I'm not up here every week, so, I mean, I'll try and get back for that hearing. But that's the day you plan on approving it, up or down, or is that just a hearing to?
The public hearing.
That's just a public hearing to approve the annexation part of the deal.
Oh, I see, okay.
And then he'll do the report
And
on
then after that, then we'll get,
whether it needs to be improved to really do something, or whether it just needs to be cleaned out. And he can establish what the width of the channel would be, and it's gonna probably vary.
Okay. Well, like you know, Trey, I was ready to get a machine in there, and between now and the next wet season, boy, I'd sure like to see that. At least I don't care about the tree, just some sort of a ditch established or something, because you know all that come down. It didn't come off my property into that. It all came down from the drainage district through there and ended up there and changed my water pattern, and it's not going down the river. It's just spreading out on the whole bottom ground there. So anyway, that's all I got.
Appreciate your input.
Alrighty. Yep, we'll go back to, number 3, discuss drainage matters.
Now, after all that, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna bring up to her. She wrote it down. Oh, I know what it was.
Type on my own code on Google.
I'm sorry.
So supposedly our church, which is in DD 11, got a notice of there's going to be a bill for them.
Actually,
Cemetery.
it's the cemetery north of Randy Howland's old house.
Okay,
Yes.
the church president contacted me and he's like,
And that's the address that's on,
not that I know of, but
yeah, no, it's that cemetery, because Bill and I talked about that.
okay.
So
that's
I don't
what
know who owns that cemetery, but that's the address that's listed. I don't know if it's township, I don't know, but that's the address
That
that
was
we have.
Westbury.
So, yeah, it's not your church.
I just gotta clear that up.
Yep, good question,
Hey,
because
Terry, what was that? Did you say you go to some website that has those maps from?
It's, if you Google search ISU ortho, that's where I go and get all the different layers from different years. Plus our county website, don't we have like 6 years ago available?
Yeah.
We can go to 6 years ago on our county website. The Winnebago County Beacon. Beacon is the provider for that service. I don't know, unless you just stop down Sue here today.
See, we cleaned it out 15 years ago. We got Rogers in there, and I mean, he cleaned it out pretty good. At least 15 years ago. But so it'd have to be something 25 years ago to get a good, at least.
Well, they definitely have at least every 10 years.
Okay.
They're not the highest resolution the farther back you go, but they get better as the years went on.
Okay.
You can go all the way back to the 30s and 40s.
Oh, okay. Is that ortho one? ISU ortho. Okay.
But like I said, the resolution is not great.
Yeah. Well,
So I was just looking at some stuff in Leland. My dad was asking about certain areas. It wasn't a great resolution.
okay. All right.
Okay. All right, open forum. Chris. I would ask Rick that, you know, those pictures do show the 12-foot, if we can do it as a repair.
right, I'm gonna ask him about that code, and especially with the improvement
Right,
and
I'd like
dump on
to
the
go out
water.
there with it. And this is the time of year when everything's frozen. Go out and we'll look at it. I wouldn't mind.
I mean, that you can call him and set that up.
Yeah. Because it may be 12 in one area, but then it narrows up in another area. You're gonna be limited there. It's always gonna be choked by a certain area.
Make an improvement on the top side, it's only fair to make an improvement on the bottom side.
Right, so,
But you know, with the annexation, you're gonna have those even bought.
yeah,
That money would go towards the buyout of the, and he can mitigate that, wipe it out.
right. Yeah, well, I'll just see what he wants to do. Okay, thank you. Here, you need to fill this out.
Yeah.
I'll see it when you get
I was gonna do that. I looked at my bag and I couldn't find it.
I suppose. Goose Town feels like it. Scott, I ran into Kendra the other day. Are you actually putting together $1 on estimates? I saw what you sent me.
Yeah.
I think she thought she was getting $1 estimate. She referred to me.
Maybe she did ask for that.
What's up?
I wonder if maybe she did ask for that. I've been trying to tell her that it's not our authority and that we can't make anybody do anything.
Yeah, I think she knows that.
She was looking for more of a stern letter from me.
Oh, she said, well, then I'm going to get that information and we're going to talk to John.
We as in you?
Me and I don't, all I would do is I said, well, I'll forward it for you, but I'm not going to try
I'd
You're
encourage
you're like me,
I don't need, we can get across it just fine. I think she just wants some support,
yeah,
and I'm guessing that that's probably a pretty expensive
We don't
fix.
need to step.
If you go with the concrete, structure,
well, I think it's big.
well, a couple of those tubes.
I gave her a couple options. I can't say what needs to be there.
But I mean, if you did get tubes, what would the cost be for materials and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look that up, I guess. Like 10,000, I don't know.
It's obviously cheaper than the structure.
Always cheaper than concrete.
I don't know, it's a landowner. I mean, I don't know, he's paid for a couple loads of rock.
Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket compared to any kind of pipe.
I guess it all depends on his,
What's that? No one ever complained about
his
that.
Oh, it's already existing.
Yeah.
Yes, the farm ground. They gotta go into big combine stuff through there. So.
I don't know if they think so yet. I think they're just.
Trouble is, every time Kendra talks to me in person, and then, you go and do something and forget exactly what it was, she then just email me a list of what you need, and I can,
Okay. Anything else for open forum?
I saw her,
I see a rotary every now and
I think I saw her at church.
Robert?
The Tri-County Recreation Association, which manages the Gruis, came to the board a couple months ago, and they're in need of a new turf mower, and wanting to know if the Conservation Board would assist them in making the purchase by just being the pass-through agency and get a better rate. And the board agreed to do it, and then they're going to purchase a Hustler mower out of Vasky Sales and Service, or we would purchase it out of Bancroft. And Tri-County will write us a check for that amount. We've turned the claim in for next week's approval. And so it's $22,568 for the mower. And that's the check that they would write us, and we would take delivery of the mower. We've done this, I think this would be the third, maybe fourth time over the years. Yeah, they actually have one that they're purchasing right now that they'll pay off in January. Another, I think that one might be a greens mower, but they were able to negotiate a good price on this one. And we were going to run it through our conservation trust fund, so it'd just be money in, money out, all in the same week. So nothing out of the ordinary on it. So my board has approved the claim and the purchase. This I was going to just kind of bring you guys up to speed, more informational than anything. You don't have to approve you'll see the claim here next week. But
So even though it's money in and money out, will it have to have an amendment depending on how it affects the budget?
on the conservation trust fund, we've got enough room in the budget where it won't push us to the over anything in that one. We have a line item for new equipment on that one. And the county, the county owns everything on the Gruis that's not personal property. So someday, if they ever walk away, it's all county-owned equipment, buildings, the mowers, and those types of things. And then the conservation board will be.
Do they operate independently?
Yeah, they do. They don't get any money from the county.
Well, no, I know that, but
Yeah, they do. They get
I
their
mean,
proper.
separate from you.
Yeah, they have their own budget. That what I was just going to say is in January.
Okay.
They have their separate board. This
That's
Tri-County
that Tri-County.
Recreation Association was set up when the property was developed back in the 70s. Bert Gruis gave the county the land, and then it went from there to this golf course association. They bring in their budget and a lease agreement that the board will approve in January.
Are they just a corporation or nonprofit corporation?
No, they're not nonprofit.
They're just a corporation.
Yeah, they've talked about trying to apply for nonprofit. I don't believe they ever have. But they get rental income. There's some CRP income there that goes to their operator. And then their greens fees and everything else takes care of their operation. They do a few fundraisers, I think. It sounds like they do pretty well.
Farmlands too.
Pardon me?
There's some acres that are rented out farmland.
Yeah, I'm talking about the rental income they get. That's really what kind of helps them keep moving forward.
It's probably
Without that,
it's a non-for-profit without being.
Yeah, and they're getting a new clubhouse manager. The guy that was running it, Krull, is done, I think, here at the end of the month.
Yeah, he's done already.
And they've got a new guy from Garner area over that way, I think.
He
Sounds like-
He has committed to it now?
Oh, the last time they came to the meeting, they said it was getting close. I don't know if they finalized it. So, other than that, no, they don't get anything from the county. I mean, they move their own snow and all those kind of things. And, we have planted some prairie for them over the years, but otherwise, no financial support. And they are required to put some money aside every year out of their rental income for drainage assessments, because you know how those pop up, and those are always an issue. So we redid their lease a few years ago that they would set aside some money so they didn't get stuck with too big a bill and not be prepared for it. But other than that, it sounds like they have a pretty good board that works together real well out there. I don't know all of them, but Jeff Osterman is the one that's been coming to us about the mower. I think that's
Yeah.
Doug's.
No,
Doug's
it's Mark's.
Mark's boy, okay.
I think he's president or chair.
And Kiewit was on the board. I don't know if he still is or not. Young one.
Lee, yeah. And Mitch Engelbart's.
Okay, I don't know him.
Yeah, I know him all. I just can't think of it.
Sure. Other than that, that's really all I had on that. So.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for asking Robert Schwartz of Conservation to have a pass-through purchase of a mower for the at Bruce Recreation Area.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Terry to approve the purchase of the mower for the Bruce Recreation through a pass-through through conservation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
Was discussing the other day at went to a CSS meeting in Lansing.
CSS.
Come on, County Social Services.
Okay, yeah.
We headed in their new
Oh, Alan Keyes.
Alan McKee's new, you're right on the Mississippi River.
Quite a building.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And the last time we were there, we had talked about the fact that we were going to do one, and I couldn't. Is there an estimated start of construction for ours yet?
Well, you know, we just had a meeting yesterday. We look at our fundraising efforts every month, and that's, of course, that's ongoing. So it'll all be, by the time we get to late spring, we'll probably have a better idea if we can break ground by next fall as far as fundraising goes.
That's what I told them. I said, I thought they were hoping maybe they could get started by next summer is what I
probably be, with the bid letting, it would, if we have some grants applications out there and some of those bigger ones would come through here the next few months, that would give us a better idea where we're going to be at. But it's been, fundraising has been moving forward. It's you get a surprise every once in a while, and we're getting a check donated today from donation today from TSB for $10,000 are coming out. And, we had private individuals gave us $5,000 the other day, so I mean you get those kind of nice surprises. And then we're, like I said, we're waiting on some grants.
Our last CSS meeting that was there was the first official thing that happened in that building. It wasn't even done yet this time.
Yeah, do you tell how much that building costs? That's a $4.5 million building. Well, they finished it, like I said, about a year ago. So
yeah. Then after he left there, he was coming to Winnebago County to do some pheasant huntings.
Oh,
We'll stop in and say hi anyway.
He's a good guy. Yeah, that's quite a facility. They had the same architect that we're using, Martin Gardner Associates. I think it's the same.
What town is that near then?
It's in Lansing. Yeah, it's right on the Mississippi. With the meeting room, when we look out the window, we get to see the Mississippi meander.
So distracting.
Yeah. Well, it's
How should you focus at a meeting like that?
no, actually, I shouldn't say that. When you're upstairs looking around and out on their deck and stuff, you see Mississippi. We had to get out of this basement. There was something with the walls. Let me correct that.
Anyway, yeah. All I know. All right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right,
Thanks a lot.
thank you, Bob. Okay, board compensation.
So it was reading some code the other day, and the VA has been paid $50 for their meetings. It says in the code that they get paid $25 for the meeting unless the Board of Supervisors moves to pay them more. So, since there's never been any board action, they need to go back to $25 per meeting unless you want to raise their amount to $50.
Well, I know one guy that would do it for nothing, so I was gonna say it. And he'd be a good guy. Bill. What's that? Bill. Oh. Because we actually had talked about that, so. But that's what the goal goes for me.
It's a board that does important work.
Oh, absolutely. Where are the individual board members on? They all. Dave,
I don't know, I mean, do they care about this one way or the other? Like you say, you got, one that, we do it for nothing. I would guess there's probably a lot of guys on there that have a little bit of a volunteering spirit to them.
So the history of all this is they were being paid $25 per meeting. And back in 2009, Jack Caputo raised it to $50 per meeting without approval, board approval. So, like I said, I was reading the code for something else the other day and found that it needed to be approved by the board. So
So in effect, it was a recommendation by Jack.
yes. Well,
no, he did it.
he just did
I know,
it.
but what we're acting on would be his
Who
recommendation.
pays the
9
50?
years ago.
Well, it's out of the general fund.
Out of the general fund, yeah. So the way you said it, it made it sound like all VA paid it.
Once a month.
I don't know. But what, like I say, you know, we're good.
What do other boards that are similar get paid for the mileage? Just mileage.
You talking about in our county or?
Oh, I don't know about other counties.
Seems like the conservation board gets.
I know there's checks that go out, I'm just not sure.
I don't know if it's just mileage or. It's even conservation board.
Nancy,
Rick Howard.
Rick Howard had.
He's the chairman.
Nancy's only, if Nancy has one, she's only half a mile away.
What's her last name?
You know, my guess is she hasn't turned anything in.
If they throw,
So,
yeah, really.
we replaced him with, when he went off, with Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy was on there before, wasn't she? Wasn't Nancy?
And then when, John Carlson, or was it, no, it was, Hermanson,
Roger.
both Hermanson and Dave Thornton were replaced with Wood.
So, looks like Nancy just gets mileage. Mhm.
So they don't get paid mileage on the VA board, but they just get the 7.
No, VA gets that
Mileage
amount
on
plus
top of
mileage. Yep.
Well, I guess if you're looking to be on which still is basically a volunteer time board, it sounds like that was the base of this. Yeah, I don't want to poke the bear either. We're used to getting it. But they're fine doing it just for the mileage.
I'll make a motion to, we can discuss it afterwards, if it gets a second, I'll make a motion to move the compensation to the state statute of $25.
I'll second.
Motion by myself, second by Dill to move the VA board meeting compensation to the state statute of $25. Any discussion?
I think we should probably, when we notify them of it, let them know that if they want to raise, they'll have to do that as a board to us. You know, it should be their request to us, not just an automatic. You'd have to justify it.
Okay. Since we act so informally anyway, I'd like to include that in the motion. If they want to keep it at 50, they need to request it. You go along with that second?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That's pretty much it there, AJ. Payroll claims and that's it.
You want me to leave?
No, you're more than welcome to stay. It just is going to be very exciting. Well, I don't know. It's pretty exciting.
Do you feel like a form? Fill out your form for Joe. I let you guys leave without filling it out. She's gonna beat me up.
I heard she purchased a Verdozo.
For what?
A Verdozo.
That sounds strange.
Look it up.
Berdozo?
Yeah, or Verdoza or something like that. Starts with a B. That's what I tell a young gentleman that want to go out with my daughters that trained in the use of one.
B-A-R-D-O-S?
B-O-Z-A.
No, that's not it, because that's the state of the soul between death and...
Close. Yes, it would be close.
Really?
Well, no, that's not what it is.
Oh, here it is, Berdoza right here. Yeah. It doesn't have a definition. You really have to go to the internet. Well, this dictionary doesn't.
It's got one on the internet. It's got a picture of it too. Yeah, I always tell them to Google it, I guess, and tell them to look up the definition.
All I got is names of Berdoza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what is it?
It is a stainless steel jaws. You put them over the scrotum of whatever animal. It severs the cords on the inside that leaves the scrotum.
Okay. Is that an old-fashioned machine? It's more like the...
I don't know if they still use them or not.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so looks like a tongs.
No, it's got stainless steel rounded edge.
Yeah.
And then it,
Yeah, I think I know.
yeah.
The casinos at antique auctions.
Where's Fort Madison?
Wisconsin?
I guess there's not a Fort Madison, Iowa.
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
Fort Madison's got a state
Southeast.
penitentiary.
Southeast Iowa.
Way, very southeast corner.
Southeast corner.
Yep. Actually, I believe we have resident there.
You'll be playing the West Hancock Eagles girls varsity basketball team because they're going to be very exhausted according to the Globe Gazette.
What? We're playing Fort Madison? There? That's
Yeah.
a long ways away.
Evidently, West Hancock is hosting the Fort Madison Bloodhounds, and then they travel to North Iowa to take on the Bison. And they'll do this starting at 6:15 at your house, and then drive all the way back home to take on Fort Madison at 7:30. So there really won't be a break. The bus driver's going to have to halt to get down there.
Sure glad I don't drive bus anymore. You is.
No, because first and foremost, Fort Madison is a 5A school taking on a 1A school. That's really
I was going
good.
to say, Fort Madison is a pretty good sized town too.
So, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like,
Is there
going home to Fort Madison.
to be stamped?
Should we go, is that just secondary roads?
Yeah, this is second.
Well, let me go find out. People are a little slow getting payroll in this week. Chelsea said that's not even all of them. She's still waiting on them.
So I told you it's going to be exciting.
Evidently our county attorney must be watching,
She liked it.
YouTube.
Your story.
She told me that please stop discussing scrotums and surly all of us. What big county? Put some smiley faces. Did you ask her if we have to meet her tomorrow? Deposition? Or not deposition, but summons or whatever. I think it said in that summons that we could have someone there that was representing us or whatever. Shows that. But is that tomorrow? Yeah.
Who's going to represent us? Is she going to represent us?
I just forgot to ask her about it. I just assumed so. We don't know anything about it. No. Yeah, we know about it, but I would think Robert would be the representative. That's who she's going to be up against. Yeah. Well, it's got to be a first. I'll plead ignorance. It has to be a first for everything.
The only reason I didn't say anything about it, we were at that meeting at their board meeting, but they discussed it.
What are you gonna do? At the top if you wanna deny it, and then the middle if you wanna use it.
I decline.
There you go.
I'm to that point where
Have you ever used it for dental?
yeah. I should probably use it again there. I just want my wife to do it all. That's a lot easier for her.
Good day.
See you Wednesday.
Tomorrow?
And it's been fun working with you guys. Cheers.
You moving?
We have a crisis at work.
All right.
Big crisis at work. Been fun working with you guys.
So, have fun. Yeah. I won't be there tomorrow, by the way. We got a treadmill. Oh, you're gonna get a test, Aaron? I gotta get I should have done it 20 years ago. Never heard of that ablation surgery. Go up in your leg, laser, different nerves on your heart. I got both AFib, and what's the other one again? Where if you leave your beat, skip a beat, or it'll go into 200 using that.
a minor surgery, and unfortunately, it's not that expensive, so.
Mine has started doing the one where
Skips a beat.
it,
Goes in
well,
rapid.
I do both too. I go, like, I'll be sitting and then it just goes out of control.
You can feel it,
Yeah, like it takes your breath away.
yeah.
And then the other one is, let's just say, it'll beat, skip a beat. And that takes your breath away too.
Yeah,
You're just
It's
not
just-
been doing that.
No.
it's extremely annoying, extremely annoying. And, when it goes into rapid, you don't lose consciousness, but you get a little dizzy, you know? It's,
Probably 26 payrolls a year.
24 that'll be taken out. Mine isn't fast enough yet that they want to do anything about it, but it's,
the second election of Bill Clinton was that election day. Mine went into it. Was that? Yeah, she was pretty smart.
HEESCH.
SCH, yeah. Eesh. Right, anyway, Bill Clinton. It was election day, second term of Bill Clinton. Mine went into. And I knew, because I've had it before when I sat for a couple hours, and just, so about 11:30, I had Laura take me to the hospital. They couldn't get it quieted down until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not kidding, it felt like I played 15 football games. There is on. But then drugs have taken care of it for 20 years.
So I don't need to do the direct deposit thing.
Oh. Speaking. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Okay. 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 Nope. Okay, thank you. Yep.
mine gets bad when I get a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Then they go dig in.
This past 6 months, mine hasn't quit. This gave me a few.
Really?
Hasn't quit.
That's awful.
Actually, because of knocked before a roof last week, more than I had.
I was just gonna ask that, is that,
Well, I think it exacerbated my flu.
that's what your recovery process, how your body responds to being sick?
Yeah.
We just missed a really exciting drainage meeting.
Really? Raise voices? Raise voices?
No.
Oh.
We saw people there, really.
I didn't even look. Is that my district?
No, it was the IEDA meeting.
Oh, okay.
That
Friday. Yeah.
Oh, that one.
And
That wasn't.
They came out with a new, they're gonna start including drainage ditches in on the same rules as natural waterways.
They've been trying that for how many years
That
now?
way they're gonna get it,
They're
they're in the process of,
tries Trump with
that can happen.
do this procurement policy back for your minutes.
All right, thank you.
I'll send it back to what's her name, you take care of all that, but for future, after I go missing and nobody knows where I am and we have another FEMA thing. You got it.
We don't understand that.
Boy, Winnebago County made the news about the FEMA thing and us not getting any money from FEMA.
What's that?
Last night on the news, they were talking about Governor Reynolds wanted Winnebago County to get money from FEMA for flood damage.
Oh, yeah, we didn't
And
get it.
FEMA denied it.
Yeah, they denied the appeal.
And yeah,
Yeah, 'cause they already denied it in like August or whatever, then they denied the appeal.
Hello.
We have her talking about.
What event though? I'll have to look.
Thank you.
Just short
that one where
I appreciate that, and I think all the residents of Winnebago County do. I was just ran down to talk to you about that HESH thing tomorrow, so it got continued. Heesh, sorry.
That's a different date maybe.
yeah, I don't know.
I think I say it different every time I say it.
Yeah, I suppose it should be he, but it was too easy.
She has an attorney, so it got continued. There's a hearing set for the 21st of December on a motion for summary judgment. Trial will be reset after that. So I think you guys were subpoenaed as defendants, witnesses. So if it doesn't get resolved, then most likely you will have to testify.
Then, not tomorrow.
Correct. And I don't know what the court date
We
will
don't
be
have to
yet.
come tomorrow, do we?
Nope.
But when it's time, we have to come.
If you have a
Even though we
subpoena.
don't know anything about it.
Really?
Don't
If you're
put my
subpoenaed, otherwise you can be held in contempt of court.
Don't put my subpoena in my box so I can plead ignorance.
I didn't subpoena you. Defense counsel subpoenaed you. So when we get closer, it might be something to discuss, but it probably needs to be in a closed session since it's pending litigation. Anything that's not public, so. Anyway.
You said it was continued till when?
Well, there's a hearing on a motion for summary judgment on the 21st, and so I won't know the new trial date till after that. So it'll probably be January or later.
What's the dollar amount of property that we're talking about here? It's just a few feet, isn't it?
It is, gosh, I'd have to look. It's a strip.
It's a ditch that was dug,
Correct.
private ditch.
Yes.
You know where it's at, Bill?
Yeah, it's over here.
Just 1 mile north of Winnebago Church.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
south of the old county.
We discussed it once in a meeting and looked at it on a map and stuff.
No, we didn't. It was at the county conservation.
I was going to say, all of my contact has been through
That's where
Robert.
we saw it.
All right.
But yeah, it's like a 6 foot wide.
As I say, it can't hardly be worth the trouble to hire a lawyer for, is it?
I'm not going to comment on that. I don't, so, anyway, there will be nothing tomorrow. But if you do get a subpoena for the new court date, you do need to go.
Just set a separate one.
Correct. They'll have to serve you a new one.
I really have to go tomorrow.
Why's that?
We're meeting with the, I don't know when she's second or third in command of the DHS or something like that. Jan Hikens for County Social Services.
Oh,
She's meeting with WHW.
okay. What office is she out of then? Des Moines? Or out of Mason City?
She actually lives in Decorah, I think.
Oh,
but she goes
okay.
to
I was going to say, I just don't know that.
She
She
before.
meets in Des Moines, I think.
Oh, okay.
See, yeah, I got a good memory just as much.
Very lucky. Yeah.
You can't make that be.
On the treadmill at 10.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I wanted to tell you. Allie's gone, so I gotta go answer.
Well, thank goodness she didn't have to hear that discussion.
I'll replay it for her tomorrow, so she doesn't miss out.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you guys.
it's a worthless position. Did you know about Landy when he was the other?
Yeah, we were buddies. He called me for all kinds of obscure things, in my opinion on it.
Roger.
We got that contract with DNR right now for the snowmobile program. They're happy with it, they want to turn it into code, get legislation passed to make it permanent. They just don't want it anymore. Guessing the governor's thinking on the appointment of a legislator to pare back the budget, get rid of some higher paid ones.
So you know, legislator would coincide. He would be a legislator and
No,
no,
he'd have to give up that.
yeah. Well, then would he take over the salary?
Well, you know, it was strange, because the deputy director made $100,000 and some thousand last year, but the, average over 100,000 over a couple of years each year. And the director, Gibb, was making 85,000, because I think it had to do with years of service. He was wanting another. Acting director right now on an interim basis, he had to come out of retirement to do his job.
We have to have our data hire down, do we, on this?
What's that?
It says data hire, open enrollment, new hire, is it the hire date or?
Don't worry about that.
You know, I just said, I didn't think we had to fill it out.
His would have been January 1st, 2015, wasn't it?
No, I got signed in, it was sworn in right away, because Willie was
Oh, okay.
right after the election, so it was the next Tuesday after that.
So November.
I got swore in and then swore out ever since.
You know, that's
Not necessarily you. I've never had your spittle flying in my face. And from two other people. Have you really? Oh, yeah. And one of them, he mad at me.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I'll second it. Motion by Terry, second by Bill to approve the payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Meeting adjourned.